Good day. One of the good articles that my best friend pointed out to me. Title is The Seven Deadly Sins of Race. This was posted in August of 2011 by Starlet McNeil. And you can leave a comment on her blog. Yes. I know that many persons don't understand my displeasure with race, and I can't point to the specific time when my intense dissatisfaction began. In fact, I don't know why. I just can't let go of the conviction that race must be eradicated, and I don't see it as others have done. Though I had many of the same experiences and conversations regarding race, that my response to race and its progeny is altogether different, and that I didn't end up in the same place and reach the same conclusions that generations past have. Still, this is my message, and it will not change. Race makes us hate each other, hate ourselves, and even hate God. And once I came to this awareness, there was no way that I would attempt to accept race on any terms. Race is the enemy, not a coach or a running partner. It is not a supporter or a cheerleader, no matter your social position. We all lose ourselves when it comes to race. It never works for me or for the good of others, but always works against me, limiting my vision and negatively impacting our perception. We are weaker than we should be, no closer to the goal of this great life and to each other than we could be all because of race. And I just can't accept that. My mission and the pure purpose of this blog is to make us hate race. We are not to run with it, to go along with its perceptions and prescriptions, but to run against it. This is the daily race. I despise race, and I will not give credit for my successes or my failures. I don't like race because it is in a position that I didn't earn and continues to exercise power and influence over persons that it should have no control over. Race has no right to redefine our humanity and its purposes. It is out of place and out of order. It should not be as close to us and to our ability to be and to do as it is. I don't like that race keeps us in the old when God has promised us newness. I don't like that it says that we must remain the same while emphasizing our differences. I don't like that its stereotypes make us helpless as to our social condition and our hearts hardened against persons and cultural groups that we may have little or no experience with. I don't like the way that it makes me feel, but I especially don't like the way that persons talk about their life and its ability or possibility when it comes to race. I don't like what race makes us do, that we lay aside the teachings of Jesus Christ instead of this sin that does so easily beset us. Hebrews 12:1, in order to practice our belief in race. And race allows us to practice many sins all the same time, as you cannot harbor such a position and not think to or do one of them. I repeat, a race allows us to practice many sins all at the same time, as you cannot, however, such a position and not think or do one of them. In fact, I can think of 7, and they have been called deadly, produced by Origen and then later amended at the end of the 4th century by Caspian: pride, envy, gluttony, lust, anger, greed, and sloth. The book of Proverbs records 7 things that the Lord detests: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plots, feet that are swift to run to mischief, a deceitful witness that utter lies, and one who sows discord among the brethren. Proverbs 6:16-19. Still not convinced? Let me give you just a few examples. Pride. The excessive belief in one's own abilities is actualized in the thought pattern of white supremacy and black nationalism. Ironically, such positions often reduce the ability of God to govern and to rule. Race often makes us live independently of the contributions of others, no matter their impact or ability. Envy. This is realized in our consumptions of products and services that allows us to look like each other ironically while holding fast to the belief that we are better or the most beautiful of God's creation. Race makes us live life by comparison. Gluttony. The desire to consume more than is needed is evident in American slavery, Jim Crow segregation, the redlining of properties, and white privilege. For example, race does not allow us to share. Lust. The craving for power and money specifically have created realities to include segregation in its various forms, much of which still remains intact today, and the systematic deprivation of goods and services to communities based on their perceived potential worth and contributions to American society. Race does not prepare an equal place for everyone. Anger. There is a lot of anger when it comes to race, whether covered in a need to overcompensate for the cord that race has dealt, or in one's perception of a threat due to the presence of a member of another cultural group in the neighborhood, on the job or a public place that has historically been reserved for socially colored persons of privilege. There are also underlying issues of fear, loss, and regret that fuel this often misplaced emotion. Race will not allow us to move past our anger. We cannot talk about it. We can only fight about it. Greed. The desire for material wealth and gain is often color-coded, suggesting that our socially colored white people are to have access and to accumulate. Still, neither the desire to keep or to take is good, but race makes us hoard the earth's bounty and divide it amongst our cultural group. Race says that the world only belongs to us. Sloth. Either we believe that we should not work because it rightfully belongs to us, that the earth is ours and the fullness thereof, the world and the people that dwell therein, Psalm 24:1, or that our ancestors have earned the right to the land and or its wealth due to past labor during American slavery. But someone has to work. Race says to all of us, they stole it from you, now take it back. This tug of war gets us nowhere. Now I don't know how many of these sins you will admit to practicing, but be sure of this: race is deadly, and its sins are slowly killing us.